MSPI is a Congress-mandated program. They recognized that there was an issue in Indian country with excessive drug use and then suicide. Suicide is double on Indian country what the national average is. Meth use is triple, and then the correlation between the two is very, very strong.
It's a grant that Utah Navajo Health Services got through the Navajo tribe. Initially it was a 2-year grant, and they've been generous enough to give us a 4-year extension because we're doing some different things.
A lot of our kids do struggle. They struggle with substance abuse. They struggle with alcohol problems. They struggle with home life and domestic violence and so many issues.
Some of the reason that these issues are so prevalent in these communities is they're very rural communities. Their traditions have kind of been pulled apart by the attempt to integrate or the attempt to compensate for historical tragedies or travesties that have been perpetrated against the Native Americans. Monument Valley is hot, it's dry desert, it doesn't support a large community, and it doesn't support a Western style of living. So most of these kids live in poverty, most of these kids travel on a dirt road to get to school, most of these kids have seen someone in their family killed in a car accident by a drunk driver. Most of these kids will know someone personally that's committed suicide, if not 2 or 3 people that have committed suicide. Many of these kids start using alcohol or marijuana when they're 12, 13 years old, and it becomes a way of just living. It's not something that they do for adventure. It's often done out of boredom.
I get up, I get dressed, wash my face, then I help my grandma take care of my grandpa. And we speak Navajo like every day at home. My grandma never went to school because her mom and dad didn't want to lose her, because back when she was a baby, a lot of Navajo people were forced to go into these foster parents and these foster homes.
And they're kind of caught between 2 cultures. They're caught between the culture of the past with all their traditions and the Western culture where they can see, white people having big houses. As a matter of fact, I had a child that I was working with saying, I asked her what if she could have anything in the world, she would want to be white. And the reason is because they have nice houses. It's created this barrier for them that's very difficult to overcome. And I don't know if to overcome it, maybe for them to understand so that they can have choice. And we're really trying in this program to give them choice in how they want to live.
In Navajo country, there's 11 MSPI recipients. We're one of those. They let us have a lot of leeway on what we wanted to do with the funds, just as long as what we did was evidence-based.
Since the beginning, I think the school has really been an integral part of this community. The community looks to this school for assistance with so many things, everything from helping with food stamp applications to calling emergency services when they need it. We have ball games here, dances here, weddings here. Because of where we're located down in the Four Corners area, we have limited resources. There's not a lot of support in this community, financial support by families or even businesses here. So that's why in programs such as the MSPI program and Native Youth Designs, which is a component of MSPI for our school, are so critically important, because it helps give us the resources that we need that we couldn't offer some of these programs otherwise to these kids.
The main component of our MSPI program is a business that we help the kids start called Native Youth Designs.
It first started out just doing therapy and with at-risk youth, and as I was doing it, it was apparent to me that wasn't really meeting the need for these youth.
And I guess we started brainstorming here in this classroom.
And so we talked about business ideas and what they could do that was different.
We're brainstorming what products we want to sell.
A lot of the Navajo make beads and jewelry, and there's a lot of that available. But there really wasn't anything available that had the signature of the youth and the culture other than the jewelry. And there's so much more to the culture.
Native Youth started in a trailer. It started on November 6, 2011, that day.
And they made a logo that's a little horny toad. Traditionally, for the Navajo, horny toad is a deity that came up from the last world to this world. And he's for protection, but he also brings blessings.
And we had our first order to come in. It was the summer camp with t-shirts. And we were freaking out. To admit, we were freaking out. We thought we were gonna mess up on t-shirts. We did on some.
It's a youth business that teaches all the aspects of running a successful business. So they can take their sketches or their paintings, and we can scan them in, and we can transfer those onto hundreds and thousands of different mediums.
Sweatshirts, cups, canteens.
So we ask you what kind of t-shirts you want, what size, what color. We ask you what you want on there, and we'll get it into you as soon as we can.
We first get a picture and we scan it and we put it into one of our documents.
And then we clean it up in a computer with either CorelDRAW. I use Adobe.
As with so many of our programs here, we try to make sure that they're incorporated into the curriculum that we're required to follow by the State Office of Education. So Native Youth Designs is a perfect fit.
The business teachers working in conjunction with our program to not only create products, but also to keep track of the books and learn some accounting skills, learning some entrepreneurial skills.
Shar was the one who had originally talked to me about a student-run business and all the possibilities of that. You know, having a small shop and creating products to sell in the shop.
So culture is important to these kids, to this community, and it's important to our prevention program.
The project that I'm working on with the students is a cookbook that will include cultural components that will tell stories about their experiences with the different foods, and also include some of the traditions.
She told us to look up the history on the dream catcher and the horny toad, and then we asked our parents, then we wrote it down and we gave it to her. And it was quite exciting to learn about my culture.
We line up the picture onto the product they want.
One thing that I hadn't really counted on has happened is that these kids are getting opportunities to go to conferences and present. The school collaboration, we're getting buses to take the kids to the balloon event where they can present their products and interact with the tourists and the different people that have come to these events.
Brought all the shirts and canteens, mugs and all that we made.
Then people started just walking around and they asked us about the company we do. We told them that we were Native Youth Designs, and we tell them about we make t-shirts, mugs, canteens, and they asked us where we made them. We said we were at the high school, and we gave them our cards. Yeah, we laughed, and we enjoyed it.
And they come back, you know, beaming and proud of themselves because they're out there putting themselves forward, learning to communicate and to share. They're getting to share their culture, their ideas, their products, and stories with other people, and in that sharing, they become empowered.
It's very important for the Native Youth Designs to be teaching marketing skills like display and design and packaging.
I can start doing my own business, marketing my own business.
One of the goals of Meth and Suicide Prevention Grant was to develop a self-sustaining program. So in our effort to do that, we're working through Native Youth Designs to create a self-sustaining organization that can not only pay the kids, teach the kids, but also provide possible scholarships and opportunities like the Venture Utah Summer Camp to keep it a whole system, to make it complete.
We're constantly evolving our program, and the Native Hope program we brought in to help with teaching some of those sober topics but still letting the kids have fun.
You got it.
Project Hope was about suicide, sexual abuse, parents abuse, and drug abuse, and drinking and driving.
A 12-pack. Sit in front of his flat screen TV and pass out almost every night. So, the monster there is sexual assault. We wanted to tie in by family members.
So you're talking about these really serious topics in the big group, and then you break out into small groups, and then you'll have a group leader and a spiritual leader in each group. And then you'll just kind of bring it up in a very non-intimidating kind of a way. One of the main skits that we do in the Native Hope program is about bullying.
When I used to bully, I thought that was a good thing because I used to bully a lot of people. And since I took this Native Hope, I learned that bullying can take students where they can take it to suicide themselves.
There's a lot of poison that these kids are keeping inside because they they feel like they can't talk about it.
Being picked on and everyone else, students laughing, and they just want to disappear.
These are issues that they deal with every day.
I changed because students really take to themselves, and I just wanted to change that. If I be much more nicer, then they wouldn't do that to themselves.
The camp came about because working with the kids in the school, to me, became kind of one-dimensional. We were in a classroom, many of them struggle in the classroom. It was hard to get the kids all together, and then it became even more complicated during the summer. And so rather than losing all the work that we'd been doing during the school year, we decided to do a summer camp.
We named it Venture Utah. It's 2 weeks long. Last year we had 36 participants, about 85 to 90% Navajo.
And we started putting it together, and 1 week really wasn't enough to make it effective.
Well, you get off the bus, get in a line, and you get your paperwork and get a name tag and your water bottle and everything you need, and then you just go find a good spot for your tent.
Project Venture was one of the programs that we decided to use. It was written by Navajo elders, and it incorporates experiential therapy with increasingly more difficult tasks to put the children a little bit outside of their comfort zone, to push them a little bit.
I trust that rope.
Where you go, right, left, all right.
As I followed it, said I could trust someone more often.
A lot of life skills, a lot of communications and trust building.
Thumb means encouragement, giving positive assertions, telling people they're doing a great job, good try.
2, check.
Check. That's all you need to do. Say climb on. I got it. All right, so take your right hand, put it on the shoulder of the person next to you. Raise that hand up, and put it down. Huh? And raise it up, put it down, faster, faster, faster. Oh, super
Good job. Yeah.
Some of the groups will go to a personal power program where they're learning communication skills and self-esteem. It's kind of a real intensive weekend format.
First day after the ride back home, or back to the campsite, You can already tell I felt a lot more happier. A lot of stress was relieved.
We focus a lot on culture. Culture is one of the biggest things that helps with prevention, as well as things that improve their self-esteem.
As far as the generation, they all had sheep. Was a weaver too. Because she had sheep, she's still using the wool. That was the only income.
And part of that is helping them understand that their traditions are important, that they have lessons in their traditions, and they're valued.
My favorite experience was the whole rabbit butchering and blessing. And during the blessing, you get corn. It symbolizes never going hungry. Being able, you plant it and you never go hungry, and you pick that corn and you just keep the cycle going, and you say your own little prayer. And when you eat the corn that you plant, it helps your prayer grow. It builds your prayer.
The goals in Venture Utah are to give the kids an opportunity to see a lot of different perspectives. We can bring people in that are Tibetan. We can bring people in that have traveled the world. We have a lady that comes and does a didgeridoo performances and teaches them some of the stories of the Aboriginal people. We have a lady come in doing Japanese drums, and she talks about some of the stories and traditions of Japanese drumming. We have tribal chief, a bear dance chief, come in, and he performs a flute, helps them make their own flute, and teaches them some of the Ute stories. They get to see a lot of different cultures, which gives them a more robust perspective of the world. And the bigger and the broader your perspective, the more choices you can make. They also get the opportunity at summer camp to put some of those things into action. You have nurse practitioners from the University of Utah there, students there learning, and they kind of help walk the kids through some of the processes of what they're looking for in the medical profession, so they can see different ways of providing for themselves and finding their joy and happiness in life.
Everybody ends the camp with their food handler's permit.
And go kayaking, and canoeing, first aid, do the CPR.
Here, all right, and your dummy, you're gonna feel that. So push down until you hit that. Good.
They taught us like how to defend yourself.
Ready, go. Sweet. Keep your eye on him.
They also have hunter safety. So things that'll just, some of it's to help them get a job, some of it's just to help them feel a little better about themselves. Another thing that we do at the camp is we just like kids with kids.
Me and my brother didn't really know anybody till we started talking to other people, then it started to be fun.
In the evening we have some kind of entertainment, a dance, a movie, a fashion show. Gives the kids an opportunity to show off and stand out, which is kind of a departure from their traditional experience.
Equine therapy is another big thing that we do at the camp. It's, and if you've ever been a part of it, it's a really powerful program.
We were just in a corral with all girls and boys, and we got assigned to each different horses.
One of the things that you can do in equine therapy is a thing called joining up. You're basically chasing the horse out of your herd. And at first, the horse is going to show a lot of attitude, because at the beginning, they're right at the edge of the round pen. there's several signs that you'll notice that the horse will do if they're starting to pay attention to you, and if they want to show you, they want to have a relationship with you. One of those is they'll start to run in smaller circles. You stop, and the horse stops, and if you've done it right, the horse will walk right up to you, and he lowers his head, which is a sign of humility. One of the kids that we had do it was involved in gangs. And suffice it to say, relationships were a problem. And so I think she lost some confidence in her ability to have stable relationships. And working with the horse was really powerful for her. She was more sincere during the equine therapy than at any other time, because you could tell that she was getting something out of that relationship. And she was seeing that she could be successful, opening up herself and giving a part of herself to somebody or something else. They come from pretty tough houses. There's a lot of abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. They have to grow up a little early. Another thing that we did in our camp, and that I feel is beneficial to any project when you're working with kids, is service, to help them get outside of themselves. And there's a lot of benefits that come along with that.
When people serve other people, it helps their self-esteem.
If I could, I would switch my class, my group, just to come back here again.
I just want to go there again, like this summer I'm going to.
And I think the outcomes of the summer camp are huge. They come out of it, many of them struggle the first week, homesickness, they don't want to do the work. By the second week, they're there and they're present.
One of the ways that we measured whether or not we're making a difference in the camp was the Rosenberg self-esteem scale. And it was statistically significant that these kids were improving their self-esteem because of their life skills and of the things that were being taught.
I would love to come back. And I'm glad that I came, because it's even helping me, even if I'm a leader.
Yeah, because we got these papers, and well, not really papers, but the thought is that we get to show our personal power, how we feel about ourselves and how we're supposed to care about ourselves, especially even if others don't.
What I hope this MSPI program delivers is some opportunity for these kids to get a bigger vision of their world, for the opportunities that they can create in their world, for them to feel better about themselves and understand that they're not victims, that they are powerful people, and they can go out and create their own world and create their own life and find happiness every day, every day.
My intention in being in this program is to pass on this idea that you can be successful.
One of our main desires is to make the MSPI program sustainable.
This program is so critical. Without Native Youth Designs, these kids wouldn't be learning the skills that they're learning right now in order to maybe be self-sufficient a little bit later on. They can start their own businesses, or they can go into work areas and show that they have these skills. And that's critically important, and we couldn't do it otherwise.
My name is Wilson Mateen. I am the Bitterwater client. My maternal grandpas are the Salt people, and my paternal grandpas are the Mini Roots people.
I'm Claricia Ray Oliver. My clan is Kemplechitni, Slartochni, Bashashin, Plache, Dashishe, Do, Topan, Dashi.
My name is Kaylin Katsum, and my clan is Tlosane, Batani, Torachitni, and Tachitni. I am Twana Keita. I am Batane, which is folded arm, Nake, which is Mexican. My grandpa is Tachini, which is running through water. My Nali are Mexican, which is Nake again.